can't stay asleep, here's solution number one. Here is 3 magic points to quickly get you relaxed and falling back to sleep. So this is for people who tend to wake up at 2 to 3 a.m. and you can't fall back, or maybe you wake up at 4 a.m. and it's hard to fall back to sleep. So 3 points. Number one, 3 magic points. Number one, right here, right between the eyebrows. You're gonna massage this for 30 seconds, all right? This is like calm the mind. Number 2, the temples, both sides. You're gonna massage again for 30 seconds on both sides, right? Number 3, the top of your head. You wanna pound your, tap the top of your head, or you can just massage the very top of your head, right? Do this for 30 seconds. So 30 seconds here, 30 seconds here, 30 seconds here. Do this and you should just magically start to fade away and sleep. Make sure you follow me here for more of these awesome solutions.
I came to Jimmy for acupuncture after 8 months of trying various treatments for plantar fasciitis in both of my heels. I have been here now since August, so it's 2 months that I've been coming to see Jimmy, and I'm almost 100% pain-free, which is very exciting after going through 8 months of all different types of treatment, and the next step was going to be surgery. So I'm very excited that I do not have to go through surgery. I would definitely recommend Jimmy to friends. I already have recommended him to friends. His staff is really warm, as is he, and takes time to get to know you, the patient, as a person as well. So I'm very happy with my experience, and I'm thankful to Jimmy because I don't have to have surgery. And that's about it. Thank you.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the next episode of Ask the Doc Show. I am your host, Jennifer Filzen, and today I have with me a very special guest, Jimmy Yen of Achieve Integrative Health in Austin, Texas. Welcome, Jimmy.
Well, hi. Hey, Jennifer. It's great to see you. Thank you for having me on the show. I'm excited to be here and excited to have this conversation.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you're running an amazing acupuncture clinic. So I want to hear a little bit about your journey of how you got where you are. So if you don't mind, just kind of share with us some of your background and how you became the CEO of Achieve Integrative Health.
Okay. It's a long story, but I'll make it short. My journey actually is I'll just say my dad was one of the inspiration of me becoming an acupuncturist. Being in my culture, I'm Taiwanese, and it's in our culture of Chinese medicine. And my dad has always been, instilling nutrition advice, the whole time I've been growing up. And when he retired, he actually wanted to become an acupuncturist. He's actually a computer programmer. And so anyway, long story short, that motivated me to pursue Chinese medicine. And so at that time, I was actually at UT Austin and I was studying biochemistry, my bachelor's in biochemistry. And I was actually pursuing to become a veterinary medicine. But I was at a crossroad where I had to make a decision, and I decided to pursue kind of my roots, which was in Chinese medicine. And that's how I got into Chinese medicine. And in 2007, I started my practice here in Austin, Texas. Actually, it's in a suburb of Austin called Cedar Park. And I started my practice, probably the worst time to start my practice because it was the beginning of the recession.
During the Great Recession, right?
Exactly. It was the best time, right? It was actually
right.
So through any entrepreneur journey, you work hard, you grind, and you do whatever it takes. You burn your ships, and 15 years later, I now have the largest acupuncture clinic in the Austin metro.
Yay! Okay, that is awesome. First off, thank you, Dad, for inspiring son.
Yeah.
Right? It's true,
Exactly.
right? Like Well, we're surrounded by inspires us, right? My parents were musicians.
Yes.
I got into music, Your family was into, obviously this wonderful modality of health. And you're right. That's many, many years of medicine that finally is taking hold in Western culture, which is great. I also love acupuncture. I adore my acupuncturist. And I'm always just amazed when she checks the various pulses and explains to me how everything's interconnected. It really is so educational as well as healing every time that I go. So good for you. And to build and also kudos to you. Starting something when the world is upside down, economy wise, right? That's usually when that's when a lot of entrepreneurs take flight. Like look at all the businesses that started
exactly
COVID and are now thriving, right? And so good for you that you grind. I want to say ground. You worked hard, you hustled, and here you are, the largest in the area. That is like so fantastic. And I'm sure that journey over 15 years, like any business, we're seeing the A reel, right? There were a lot of struggles and challenges, but bravo, buddy. I'm seriously so proud of you and good for you. So now, who is it in your practice that you're serving? What age groups, what types of folks, what types of health concerns are coming to you?
So our, you can say ideal patient or the specialty that we specialize in, it's three main specialties. The first one is neurological conditions, and I'll dive in a little bit more about that. But neurological conditions, that's number one, chronic pain, people in chronic pain, and then also people we call supportive cancer care. So our demographic is typically the older generation. I would say later, Generation X, later, and baby boomers, right? That's typically our demographics. And when it comes to neurological conditions, like what are those? So the number one thing that we're known for is treating neuropathy, which is basically nerve damage. We commonly hear that with diabetic neuropathy, but what's more even common these days is chemotherapy-induced neuropathy. And that's one of the things that we treat a lot of, and therefore supportive cancer care, right? So those, I would say those are our demographics of who we help.
Oh, that's great. Because you know what? You're absolutely correct. When our nerves are not fully functioning, that causes dis-ease within the nerve system, disease, right?
Exactly.
And and then you're right. We're battling all these things. We're taking pills, whatever. But the natural approach to get your body to heal itself through acupuncture is just a fantastic way. Oh, I love this. I love this. Can you share with us some of the success stories that you've had over your 15 years of practice? Don't say names, but just give us a good vibe. I'm sure you got plenty of them.
Oh, we've got plenty. And actually, not to get off topic, I'm just going to tangent just a little. So we have tons of testimonials. In our clinic, we have this long hallway, and instead of putting pretty pictures on the side of on the walls, we have from floor to ceiling testimonials of our successes.
Yes.
And you can also, it's like no other clinic has this. And you can go to our YouTube page. We've got 100 video testimonials. But let's talk about specific cases. So actually, the one that jumps to my mind is we have people fly in from all over US to come to get treatments from us because of the results that we produce. And I'm thinking of this patient who actually they actually lived in Colorado, and they moved over here to Austin, Texas for 4 months just to get treatments from us. So this patient had neuropathy in his hands and also his feet. Now, talking about music, he's a bass player, right? And he can't play bass because of the neuropathy. He can't feel his fingers, right? So imagine a musician not being able to play his instrument. It's like suffering. Right. And he also likes to golf, but he can't golf because he can't feel his feet. It's hard to balance, right? And so after a 4-month period of treatments, he's now able, we use, acupuncture. We don't just do acupuncture. We do acupuncture, Chinese herbs, nutrition. We work with people's diet because diet is key, but we also integrate today's technology. So we combine a 3,000-year-old medicine called traditional Chinese medicine, and we combine it with today's technology. So we have infrared light therapy, we have microcurrent, we have whole body vibration therapy. So we combine everything together, and fast forward 4 months later, the patient is back on the golf course. He's able to actually, we still follow up with him. He's starting to play his bass, and he's actually performing now. So he's back to performing where he couldn't even play the bass. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So those
That's
are the
amazing.
typical results that we get. Yeah.
I love it. Okay. You just opened up a little door. I've got to explore some more. This is so cool, Jimmy.
Okay.
All right. You are using the best of an ancient medical practice, right? But you're using technology and all these really cool treatments. Okay. So
yes.
Nutrition. You're absolutely right. Nutrition is super important. We are what we eat. They always said that. We didn't believe them. And now I guess I would be a Kraft a cheese slice. I don't know.
Yes.
The point being is that you're absolutely right. What you put into your system, your body can only rebuild its cells based off of what you give it. And so if what you give it is not so healthy, then obviously, your system is only able to rebuild accordingly. That is so cool. So tell us some of these technologies. How are they based in? This is a really dumb question, but just bear with me here because I'm a layman and I want to learn. So some of these new technologies, it sounds like it's the best of both worlds. It's the best of Western medicine as well as Chinese. But like, are some of these? I think you mentioned sound waves and other things. Is that based off of what you learned from the Chinese medicine side, or is that more like? Tell me a little bit about this bridge of both.
Yeah. Great question. So our focus, let me start about why how I chose these technologies. The premise of it and the focus of it is really simple. Increase blood circulation, number one. Number two, retrain the brain. Our bodies were built beautifully, perfectly. That's why, so many things could go wrong and they don't go wrong because our body self-heals. So I choose technology that can do one of those two things, either increase blood circulation, because like you said, what we put in our body, actually that nutrition is broken down, absorbed, and it goes into your bloodstream. So where your blood goes is where your nutrition goes also. And so that's why it's vitally important for you to make sure blood is going to the dysfunctioning organs so that they can function. Organs like us need to eat and poop, right? And how do they do that? They do it through the blood circulation. So that's why we use infrared therapy, light therapy. Infrared light therapy causes your blood vessels to vasodilate, which basically means opens up. So if you have a hose that's big, there's a lot of water going through it. So if your blood vessels dilate, your blood circulation becomes better, right? And other technology like vibration therapy. So you stand on a plate and it vibrates you, okay? And that also improves blood circulation in addition to something called lymphatic circulation. And then last, we have this microcurrent, which we call nerve reboot. And what it does, it mimics acupuncture. Because the beauty of acupuncture that a lot of people don't know is acupuncture has the ability to retrain our CPU to heal itself. That's the beauty of acupuncture, is retraining the brain. And we have this technology called Nerve Reboot that can mimic acupuncture to help retrain the brain so that the body heals itself again without medication, surgery, supplements, and so forth.
Oh, I love it. Okay, first off, I want to thank you for explaining about how the technology of infrared light and the vibration, how it helps the blood flow, and that the blood flow allows the nutrients to get to the ends of the nerves that you're trying to heal.
Yes.
Thank you for explaining that. When my dad was going through, my dad has passed away, but when he was going through his treatment of Lewy body dementia, I knew that my mother had this really cool tool that like he'd sit in front of this light thing, but we didn't know why or how. Like we just knew it was working, but it seemed woo-woo. Yeah. But you just explained it in very clear terms, and thank you, brother.
You're very welcome.
Oh,
That's my specialty.
this is great stuff. Oh my gosh. So now, last question I have is, what is your why? Okay, I know that you were inspired by Dad. I know that you were going to be a veterinarian, which is so cool, right?
Yeah.
So there's a part of me that's like, when the people come to visit you, can they also bring their puppy and you can heal them too? But but in all truth, like, what, we all have a reason why we get out of bed every day, right? And sometimes, it's like, especially when things are challenging, it's like, ugh, I don't want to get out of bed. But our why, our drive gets us to go and make the world a better place. Can you tell us, what is your personal why? What got you into like wanting to do this and have those testimonials just plastered all over your hallways?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I'll start off with the why. The why is paying it forward, because like I said, I started my practice in 2007, one of the worst times to do that, and struggling, just like every entrepreneur, and the struggles were real. They were very difficult. I had no help, no family support. I was in a city that nobody knew me. I had to do it by myself. I know how hard that is. The same with health. If you have no help and you're trying to, restore your health, and it's difficult, right? And so along the way, I did meet some mentors. I found some mentors, and I met some mentors, and they substantially helped me in building my practice. And then now I think, back, man, if I had someone mentor me from the very beginning, how many more people could my clinic be helping right now? Right? I'd be 10 times more successful, 10 times more people that we're helping. And so that's what gets me up in the morning, is now that I've accumulated, a lot of success, it's how can I pay it forward to the next Jimmy who's trying to start out? And how can I pay it forward to the next Jimmy that's struggling with neuropathy, or my patient who's struggling with migraines? How can I pay it forward? Because if we don't I believe our mission, in everybody as a human being, is to pay it forward. Because if we don't pay it forward, we're not going to have a society here, right? Our society is going to decline, like we see in the movies. And so for me, what that motivates me is like, it's my duty to pay it forward, whether to help entrepreneurs, because I also coach other healthcare practitioners, or just the public in regards to their health. So that is the reason why I get up every day. When I don't, I've accumulated enough success where actually I don't have to work anymore. But I choose to. I choose to build a big team so we can help more people.
I'm a fan. I'm such a fan. Seriously, Jimmy, thank you so much for joining me today. Everyone, thank you so much for joining us on today's episode of Ask the Doc. I hope you are equally enamored of this amazing healer, Jimmy Yen of Achieve Integrative Health in Cedar Park, Texas, a suburb of Austin. Go find him on Buzz TV. You can go to iwannabuzz.com and find out more. Again, Jimmy, thank you so very much. Everybody, we'll see you next time. Bye.